So, you want to make an obsidian portal from Minecraft, but you want to make it realistic. Well, isn't that cool? Because I have just the thing for you, Steve. Hey guys, welcome back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we are back once again in Blender, taking a look at how to make something that looks or resembles something similar to some kind of portal, maybe something similar to a Minecraft obsidian portal, but like, you know, kind of more realistic. So we're gonna be using a couple different things today. We're not gonna be using default cube. I'm sorry, buddy. I know people love you here on the TBK channel, but I'm sorry. I gotta hit delete on that. We're gonna go ahead and hit Shift A, and we're gonna search for. Let's see, how should we do this? Let's actually do this with a plane. So we're going to do this with a plane. We're going to hit GX to move it over like this. And I kind of want to maybe scale it down a little bit. We're going to do a lot of modeling today. So this is going to be a very model-intensive video. So I should probably go call some supermodels so I get some references. We're going to go ahead and hit 7 to go into the top view of the camera here, so I can hit G to move this around, and it will not move on the Z axis, so it's still flat like that, obviously. Alright, so I'm going to move this around until I get a shape that I feel like is really natural. We're going to do like this. I'm going to cut that there using the loop cut. Grab that piece and kind of move it like this. Kind of move this over. We are having, actually, I'm going to not do that. That's going to mess up the vertices. What am I doing? We're going to actually subdivide this. So we're going to undo what I just did. Move that over there. And then double tap A. And then hit right click this to subdivide. And now everything is proper. There we go. And we're going to move that over like that. And I think that looks like a pretty good base to start with. All right, cool. I'm going to actually flatten this side a little bit more. Nope. Flatten this side. Hit G to move it over. Flatten this side a little bit like that. Very cool. Very cool. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab all 4 of these faces and we're going to extrude them and scale them inwards like that. And I'm going to keep doing this, hitting E to extrude and then S to scale them inwards. I'm going to keep doing this. Maybe rotate them a little bit, like maybe this way, and then hit E to extrude again, rotate, hit RZ to rotate them, RZ, then G to move it over, of course, E to extrude again, and we're going to keep doing this until I have a kind of portal-y shape, I suppose, to some degree that I really like it, like that, and we're going to start rotating it this way as well, so RY to rotate on the Y axis, E to extrude, and I'm going to kind of start maybe hitting S to scale them in a little bit like this. And then we're just going to keep rotating in different ways and different formats and rotating them around and whatnot until I have a design that I really like. And I'll be back once I am done with that. Alright, I think I have a design that I like quite a bit. So we're going to extrude this down one more time and then hit SZ0. Actually, wait, sorry. We're going to turn my null lock on and then hit SZ0. Scale that so that it's flat on the bottom there. I'm going to scale this up as well like that. So it's a little bit thicker like that. And then we're going to move all of this up. Actually, I need to do this. Hit this little button right here so we can grab all the vertices front and back. And then we'll move it up like that. And I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on snapping and make sure that that is checked so that we can now move all of these properly to this area, but we're going to have to turn on some weird absolute grid snap. So there we go. Now we can snap that to the bottom line, which is what I wanted, and we have something that looks like this, which is really pretty cool looking, actually. I really like the way that it looks. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple things to this. Obviously, it's really low poly, so I'm going to go ahead and first of all, we're going to add a subdivision surface to this and bump that up to maybe like 3. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these vertices on the bottom, and we're going to hit B to bevel them. Control B, sorry, to bevel them, and then we're going to just scroll our mouse wheel up like once so we can get more vertices in there, and then we're going to put it about like right there so that it looks a little bit sharper on the edges, but not super sharp still though. It still has a little bit of a nice edge to it. Alright, cool. Now we're going to go ahead, Object, Shade Smooth, and then we're going to go ahead and start pulling out some of these places, making some of them a little bit more rough. So I'm going to add loop cuts to a couple areas. I'm going to put a couple loop cuts up here actually, so we're going to click, and then we're just going to click and drag and move them to some areas to kind of make them a little bit sharper, like that area right there, make that poke out a little bit. Maybe this up here, make this a little bit sharper. Click and drag to get this to get a little bit sharper like that. Nice little edge there. Maybe I want an edge right here as well. Pull these together. Pull these together like that. There we go. Nice little edge there. Maybe one right here as well. And we'll pull that together. Very subtle edge right there on that one. Maybe one right here. Just getting a little bit of that detail in there. I like that one a lot. There we go. So that looks pretty cool. I think I want to maybe actually do it lengthwise. One of them. Like that. Oh, yeah. There, looks really cool. So we'll do the back side maybe. Pull that up. Yes. That looks really cool with that nice sharp edge along that area. This looks really, really cool. I like this. I may maybe do another one right here. And then pull it this way as well. Yes. That looks really, really cool. I love that so much. Very, very nice. Okay, so now, the next thing I want to do is we need to make a shape in the middle of this, obviously, so we can make a little portal-looking thing. So what we're going to do for that is I'm going to add in a plane, and then we're going to hit 1 to go into my camera's, to my front-facing view, sorry. Then we're going to hit RX 90 to rotate that 90 degrees on the X-axis. We're going to move that up, turn snapping off. Hit G to move it up into about the center. And then we're going to go ahead and just subdivide this. Hit Tab to go into edit mode. Tab. And then go to vertices, select. Right-click. Subdivide. And we're just going to kind of pull these in some different areas like this, right, in some different areas until it is full. But you can see we don't have enough vertices here, so I'm going to try my hardest to go ahead and hit Extrude. So select both of these vertices by holding down Shift, select that one there, and then hold down Shift and grab that one. It's inside, so we can't see them that well, but we can see it. And then we're going to go ahead and just move this down like this. And you know what we can actually probably do is we can do this in a much easier way if we were just actually to let's undo that. Let's add a plane back, sorry. And we can just do the same exact thing, but we can actually delete these bottom two vertices. Or actually we can just move this up and then just hit G to move these inwards like this. And then we can just go ahead and actually extrude this down over and over again. So hold down Shift, select these two vertices, E to extrude, move it down, 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 and move it down. SX0, and then we can just magnet that later on. But you can see we can just pull all of these vertices over into the portal. And you see we have a very nice, easier way. My bad about that first. Yeah, that was weird. I should just the first time. All right, there we go. Cool. And then we can just grab these two vertices and then go back to magnet mode. And you can zoom in here as close as we can get and hit G. And then we can just snap those onto the bottom like that. Grab these, hit GX to move on the X-axis. Once again, select that vertice, GX, move it over. And as you can see, it looks good. But I do want to actually move the bottoms of the portals down a little tiny bit. So we hit 1, grab all of those, hold down Shift, grab all those. Make sure you just turn this little button right here on so you can see through the mesh, so you can grab all the vertices in the bottom instead of just the ones that are facing towards you. Then we're going to go ahead and hit 1, zoom in here, and I'm going to very slightly turn off magnet, just slightly move them down just a little bit, just so it doesn't look like it's floating. And there we go. So that looks really cool. Obviously, we need to now rotate this because it is not, fully straight. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's grab this, and then we will put a couple loop cuts in this bad boy so that we can actually rotate this properly. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these vertices up here and kind of just move them to where they're supposed to go. Now, this might be a little bit of a tedious process, but once you get them all in there, it should be worth it. So let's go ahead and grab all these vertices here, kind of smoothing out the surface. You can also hit zero, sorry. Well, actually, hit O on your keyboard to scroll up, and then you can move multiple vertices at the same time, which is making this a lot easier, as you can see. I'm just going to make sure they're all stuffed in there. I'm going to move this over like that, with make sure it's still on the X-axis, sorry. There we go. Move it forward. Forward. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Scale that one down a little bit and pull it up. There we go. And I think those are all inside. I do